Hello, welcome to the Driver Mod. My name's Anthony. On today's video, we're going to be showing you how to do the spark plugs on a 1.8 liter Chevy Cruze. So this is a 2011 Chevy Cruze with the 1.8 liter Ecotec engine. We're going to be replacing the spark plugs today. First thing you're going to do is remove this center cap right there to reveal the coil setup. Just pops up. Just kind of set that off to the side. Next you're going to need some T40 bolts to remove, as well as the harness connector over here. So to release that, you're just going to pinch down on this. It's going to push up on the locking tab, and then you can pull the harness connector out. Just kind of tuck it off to the side. Then go ahead and release these T40 bolts. When you get those T40 bolts released, go ahead and remove those. Stick them in some sort of parts tray. We've got these silicone parts trays from Grip Mats. These are good for holding tools, bolts, other miscellaneous hardware, so you don't lose them on the job. Great for professional or DIY applications. We'll leave a link for those in the description below. So once we remove those bolts, now we can go ahead and pull up on this coil assembly. You're gonna kind of break the seal, and then you should be able to work your way down and just wiggle it back and forth. But more or less, it's gonna come straight up. Oh, looks like that one's getting caught under something. It's an interesting design. So this is the coil setup from GM. If any of these pop off when you pull this out, don't worry, just pop them back on. All right, so to release the spark plugs, you're gonna need a 5/8 spark plug socket, and you can use a ratchet, power tool, whatever. All right, go ahead and compare your new spark plug with your old spark plug. Make sure the thread depth and thread pattern is the same. You know, the amount of electrode exposed, the amount of porcelain exposed. These plugs come pre-gap. They should be gapped, I think it's said, to about 28 thousandths of an inch. And we're using the exact same plugs that came out of it, NGK iridiums. So now we can go ahead and install our new plugs. So when installing new spark plugs, you do not want to use power tools or anything to get them started. Just get them started by hand. Run them as far down by hand as possible. Then go ahead and take your ratchet and just tighten them up until they bottom out. You're gonna have to compress the crush washer. We're not gonna torque them yet. We're gonna tighten them all down first. Once they get semi-stiff, you should start to feel a little bit of resistance, but the resistance should stay relatively the same. But once it starts getting really stiff, that's when you know you're ready to torque it. Again, we're applying very little force here, and right there is where it really starts to get stiff. So now we can go ahead and torque these. The torque spec is 18 foot-pounds, so go ahead and grab a torque wrench and tighten those down. Once you've got those tightened down to 18 foot-pounds, you can go ahead and reinstall your coil assembly and reinstall your T40 bolts. Just make sure everything's fully seated, and then the bolts will finish off bringing it home. Then go ahead and plug in your ignition coil connector. Fully seat that. And then reinstall your cover. And that completes the install. Now we're going to go ahead and start the vehicle and make sure it idles and runs fine. So go ahead and clean up your work area, get all your tools out of from under the hood. Just get inside the vehicle, go ahead and start it, and just let it idle. We're going to be listening, looking for any check engine light, rough running. And we don't see or hear any of that right now. Just let it run for a little bit and see if any issues develop. After you've let it run for 5 to 10 minutes, if you don't see any, check engine light flashing, any sort of misfires, codes related to drivability, go ahead and shut it down, and that completes the install. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, leave a comment down below. Definitely like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again at the next one on the driver mod.